For those of you who keep returning to Warfield Prepper Chronicles, you know this channel goes straight for the real techniques that mattered then and still matter now. Before we continue, make sure you're subscribed so you never miss the next deep dive into authentic survival history. Let's get to the method itself. The Vikings relied on a simple but disciplined technique to stop water from spoiling during long voyages and harsh winters. The foundation of their approach was the early treatment of water the moment it was collected. Vikings filled wooden casks with fresh stream or spring water, then immediately sealed the barrels to limit airflow. The wood itself played a major role. Oak and pine casks slowly released tannins and natural resins into the liquid, inhibiting bacterial growth without chemicals, filters, or boiling. The key was sealing early, before microorganisms could multiply. This is not superstition. This is basic microbial control, long before microbiology had a name. The method remained effective because Vikings paired sealed storage with controlled oxygen exposure. They knew stagnant surface water went bad quickly, so they filled their casks to the brim and hammered down the lids tight. By reducing headspace, they minimized oxygen inside the container and slowed spoilage dramatically. Anyone who has stored water for long-term prepping understands how crucial oxygen reduction is. This is, well, the same principle used in modern canning and long-haul naval water storage. Vikings weren't theorizing. They were applying direct observation from centuries of seafaring. The Vikings strengthened the method by cleaning and, seasoning their containers between uses. A newly carved barrel wasn't used immediately. They treated the interior by soaking it, tightening the staves and letting the wood swell until watertight. Some regions even charred the inside lightly, creating an additional sanitary layer that discouraged microbial growth. Over time, these barrels developed a microenvironment that favoured preservation. This wasn't ritual, it was practical maintenance. A prepped container lasted years and honestly made every new batch of water safer and longer lasting. You can use the same principles today with modern containers, but the discipline remains crucial. A stainless steel drum, a high-grade plastic water barrel, or a wooden cask can replicate this technique. Fill the container with the cleanest water source you can access, seal it fully, and store it where temperature swings are limited. If using wood, understand that food-grade barrels still release beneficial compounds that inhibit spoilage. If using modern materials, the key is still the same. No oxygen exchange and no exposure once sealed. Preppers today often struggle with long-term water taste degradation or even microbial bloom. And that's usually because they leave headspace or open their containers a bit too frequently. The Viking method, though, well, it avoids that entirely. Applying this knowledge in a practical prepping setup, it really adds longevity to your stored water supply. For example, a prepper keeping a 200-litre drum in a garage can treat the water just once, seal it up fully, and then leave it untouched for months. Likewise, a homesteader using a small wooden cask can store stream water over the winter without worrying about rapid spoilage. Even on a smaller scale, hikers with metal canisters can keep water fresher simply by topping them off completely instead of leaving air pockets. These small actions, they extend usability significantly, exactly as Viking crews did while crossing those rough northern seas. So, if this gave you something new to add to your historical survival knowledge, make sure you subscribe to Warfield Prepper Chronicles and, well, share this guide with others who take real history seriously.